Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
All right, we got a good show. No, not the song.
Welcome to the Hat Rack. Russian Army of One. Population, Army of One. Thumping the mic like a nuclear missile. Forged from bars of platinum grill dismissal. Blasting PR that's so out of hand that all the fudge rounds in the world won't keep you off the witness stand. And do I know? No. Or do I know? No. Well, I'm aware you never made it on my live show. No. And you're so hot and twisted. You mainlined a career path of lawyer once, but now delisted. Always saying the unspoken parts out loud. Grinning through questions, really are you that proud? We got him, he took the bait. Content Krampus in the meat sweats, delivering the mic hate. And here's a statement of fact. On the mic, there's one thing that you really lack. Yeah, we're talking mic skills. Unless it's gripped in rock shaped like socks to all the misguided shills. Those aren't socks. Imagine making a website admitting that despite your denials, there's no acquitted. You put your name up in lights, an ecosystem comprised of a group of random parasites. And me, I've got this feeling that ringworm would be far more appealing than tuning into that for a few hours and all the stupid that noise empowers. Granted, there's one thing that's entertaining, and that's amidst all that craning. You really think that you're shrewd while going from PR and lawyer to all of you getting silted. Oh, and one of you has turned, and guess what? It's a name that you haven't yet learned. Someone deep in your conspiracy who's leaking info. Patience, you just wait and see. Maybe I should wear a mask, because admittedly I'm enjoying this task. So much it seems like a crime watching morons talk themselves into possibly doing time. You've been celebrating like it's Christmas, like you've won some kind of award. But the only award I'm seeing is being added to a conspiracy that includes allegations of a hitman. A hitman? Seriously? And going after witnesses in a trial, promising retaliation from the dark web. Your word, dark web, some people never learn.
Do I know? Or do I know? No. Well, I'm aware you never made it on my live show, baby. You gotta love that, man. I freaking love that song. That's so funny. How's it going today, by the way, folks? See, last night I had this amazing plan. I knew that if I said that we would do something like go over Depot today, that something amazing would happen. And guess what? Something amazing did happen. Bruce decided to write an open letter to Larry Foreman, being like, you better settle on the thumbnails or else. It's the best shit ever. It names us all. We're all threatened. Oh my God. What a day. What a year so far. 2 days into the year, and it is fucking starting off as a banger. I love it. Oh my God. Oh, so how are you folks doing tonight? Man, it is the second day of 2025. Man, we got a good show tonight. This is going to be a fun reading. You are going to enjoy this. You can see the butthurt about, oh, she's a Wiznut, about Meg Ladonis' foe. In fact, I texted Meg Ladonis today and I was like, yo, you're missing out. You know you want to come on. There will be much laughing. Much laughing. She's like, I can't. I was like, oh, you know you want to. I love it. Oh my God, tonight is going to be so entertaining. What a year. By the way, if you enjoy these wonderful live streams, make sure that you like. Make sure that you share it. And if you'd like to go further, man, those breadsticks are always appreciated. I tell you, I never realized how butthurt these people get about money. They, I never really realized. I guess it's because they can't make a product that people enjoy, so they have to put on some kind of weird ass grift every time. People just don't enjoy helping them out there and supporting their product. They have to be like, oh, by the way, it's 2029 and we're grafting for the new blue buckets. It's like, wait a minute. Another blue bucket. Oh my God, man. This is going to be good, though. Bruce decided to put out an open letter into Whinge and Whine. And what's really funny about this, okay, is that when Bruce put this out here, he's trying to claim that all the stupid that he's written before, that was part of some master plan. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. I know I've been publicly embarrassed and shamed, but that's part of my master plan. Holy God. I love life some days, man. Like I said, this year has been good so far. This is going to be good. We're going to have some fun tonight with it. I'm letting everybody build in and get in a little bit here so we can just, we can roll this thing up like a magic carpet. We can ride this sucker for a little while. Let me give a little love real quick. All right. Rebel Bird kicked this one off. 5 giftos, man. Thank you for kicking it off that way. Love you, Rebel Bird. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, mods, man. You all do great stuff. Like I said, we're setting a tone this year. Remember while we're here, and it's good. I'm glad you all are there with me to do it. Mods, give the mod love, man. They have a hard job keeping the chaos at a standstill, so we have fun. Hello, thank you for the gifted membership as well. Thank you. Getting kicked off there too. Hello, thank you. Appreciate it very much. Thanks. Carolyn, thanks for the 2. Love you. And Megan, speaking the truth. Thank you. Yeah, Megan is unfortunately on a break. I gave her a hard time about it. I'm telling you today. I was like, you are missing out on, she's named in this, just to give you a snippet. You want to know how bad Bruce is butthurt about Megan? Like, look at this. I mean, again, we will cover all this. I just, look, Megan Fox did live yoga while laughing at Miss Preston's distress during her videotape deposition and asking viewers for money. Again, the money thing is such a butthurt item. I love it. Oh my God. I mean, it names all of us, though. Look, oh my God, look at that tug. Look at that shizzy. Oh my God. But he's like, do you think the emails I've sent, I didn't know they wouldn't have been shared? Oh, I'm sharing my legal points. You mean denied? Stupid, idiotic, denied. You know what you've also done too? You're telling this that your emails, private email, they're not private. You're saying that that correspondence can be shared. You admit that. Thank you for admitting that, by the way. You know it can be. There's no violation. So all the haters out there, all the hate channels, that talking point, I'm sure you help feed them. It's actually quite trash, and they have been going with that today, by the way. They have been talking about private emails are private. Actually, my favorite talking point right now is private Facebooks. You have a Facebook that's public, but it's still somehow private. It's like, no, mofo. Aren't you tracking down Shara, by the way? Bunch of weirdos. I swear to God, man. But I mean, they hate the money thing. I love it. I think it's hilarious. Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership too. Fallen Hero, appreciate you, my friend. You've been around for a long time, buddy. Appreciate you. Hazel, thanks for the 2 there. You can Insomniacs. Yes, reporting for duty, Tug. It's -3. Oh, it's cold. Man, I still got that. I got to get this gas heater behind me fixed. It's like, I bet it's 63 where I'm at right now. I have a heater I could fire up, but it sounds like a jet engine behind me. So I'm like, we won't do that right now. I'm gonna hit 5 more. Okay, 5 more, and then we will start it off. Okay, because we're a good number now. Chris, thanks for the 5 there. It's the 3rd day of the new year in New Zealand. Have you been entertained for 3 days so far, by the way? Have they all been good? I hope so. Because for me, 2 days have been good. I hope that 3rd day. We had the oh yeah, I forgot. We had the Megan Rumble exclusive day was on the New Year's Eve for us. So that would have been day 1 for you. So yeah, it's been a good 3 days, right? Let's see. My Ventures Homebrew. Thanks for the 5 there. Proves how much of an idiot BBB is. Indeed. Sue, thanks for the 5. I know that she's broke. Oh man, BBB. Yeah, the whole idea, bro. The open letter thing is so funny. This is gonna be fun. You're gonna like it. Oh my god. Yes, Shizzy broke. It's addressed to Larry. And okay, my favorite part. Let's just skip to one part and one more. Let me hit this here. Wanda also saw that come in. Thanks for the 50 here. Let's see how butthurt they get about that. I know, man. Ooh, get that cell phone, baby. 30 supers, by the way, already, man. Those numbers are awesome, man. We keep cruising toward 50 each time, and that is awesome. Like I said, I appreciate, for real, I appreciate you all. I've never been self-employed, so it's amazing. The one thing too I liked, okay, check this out. This is really what I'm saying. This is the very end, and I don't want you to miss this. Say it's late where you are or whatever. I wanted you to notice this. This is remember, this is to Larry, okay? And we're going to start at the beginning of it in just a second. But this part here, we'll give you another opportunity, which you don't deserve, to quote unquote settle by removing images of Miss Preston from your thumbnails. He's telling him that he's going to file again. Now, they can file again, but they removed it. And if they file again, holy crap, they've given, Larry's going to sue the shit out of this fool. You watch. He is going to sue this moron. Because he keeps making threats. He's trying to make him fear all the time. But he's threatening on the lawsuit. If so, you have public proof of Miss Preston's release of claim against you in the form of this open letter. Actually, bud, you know what Larry has? It's a real fascinating thing. Let me roll this back up at the top. You know what Larry has, first of all? He has admissions from a lawyer. Like I said, as we start this out, I want to point back to this because I always love to point back to this, because when they make idiots of themselves, well, they do. We have admissions from the lawyer himself that this person is a celebrity. He has admitted that, again, in the message where he went after that person's job, he admits that this is playing out to thousands and thousands of people, and he admits yet they don't want to embrace that. So he's admitting public figure. He's admitting public interest. He's a moron. So why would there be something on the thumbnail? Because, well, he can use it. I mean, again, the argument is so dumb. And they know it is a garbage argument. But they were so shamed in what they did with this stuff that now they've gone back. They've gone to the, actually, it's going to come up in the federal lawsuit. It's like, oh my God, man. Life is funny sometimes. All right, are y'all ready for this? Because I'm feeling it. I am. Oh, look, I fit right there in the corner. Don't actually like run over any of the letter. That's beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. I'm making sure it blows up exactly how I want to see it there. All right. That seems pretty big. It looks like you could read that pretty well. Yeah. Could y'all see that pretty good? It looks like on my screen, it looks like you all should be able to see that really well, actually. I like the way this sets up. So tell me if there's any problem with that, but I think it looks right. I could probably, actually, I think that's as big as it'll go. It might go a little bit more, but I think that's pretty good. Yep, beautiful. All right, good deal. Loving it. All right, so this is Brucey Bruce, and look at the date on here. In case you're like, I saw somebody say yesterday that there was stuff like the Shara things, like some of it we'd seen before. You may have seen it before, but we've never covered it on your show because we're about a week behind on catching up Shara stuff. But this, there is no way, unless you read it yourself. You may have seen it somewhere else, like out there, but this is new, as in new. As in, do you know or do you know? No. This is an open letter. An open letter to Larry Foreman, Esquire. This dude is such a fucking bungling idiot. You know what he's doing this? See, this proves that all of this stuff too is about him. He wants public attention. And it's amazing, like I said, all of this stuff, the way he plays it, his arguments that he locks in, it's beautiful. He makes a mess of things. He's amazing in a lot of ways. Here's the thing. Do you see any other lawyers doing this? Do you see Randy coming out and doing that? No. Dear Larry, Happy New Year. Man, isn't that sweet? I'm taking a cue from Shizzy's open letters to Bubbles readings. He's trying to play it off because he knows he's embarrassing his ass. So when people laugh at this, because he knew it would come out. He knew if he wrote something like this, it would end up getting dropped out there. So he's trying to pretend beforehand that he actually has a plan to this. This is so fucking funny. And you're going to hear all these idiots be like, oh, his plan worked. If your plan is to get laughed at because of your legal stupidities, convert to Lulyer. I'm glad I could provide Shizzy a hobby to accompany his drinking both on stream and off stream. Look at the salt there. He's like, oh my God, his drinking. You seem like you have a lot of empty days, Bruce. Like you should do. You know what? You know the difference between you and Shizzy? Shizzy gets paid to do this. You try to reach in other people's pockets, hoping that you can grasp at a little spare change. Maybe if you reach deep enough, maybe somebody, one of your betters, like a Larry Foreman, since he wouldn't carry you on his shoulders and talk about mac and cheese, maybe he'll drop a little bit of change. So maybe I don't know, you could get a pumpkin soy latte later on. I'm not sure. Not sure what you drink there, man. But I'm not sure what other people pay for you to drink. That's a better thing. But an Occupy is apparently unlimited free time. Unlimited free time. This guy who used to sit on streams for 5 to 9 hours and writes the dumbest fucking things I've ever read. His filings again. There was a mantra that I've heard lately. It was deny, 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 deny. 5 and 3 filings, buddy. His go-to has been, they're trying to make this longer. We don't want them to actually bring in other people like myself. What was the other thing he said? Oh yeah, we delayed for 5 months. Oh, that was my plan. What a moron. So some genuine questions that I don't expect you to answer. Why shoo the chance? Look at him. He's like, I'm going to throw in some big words. I'm so fancy. To extricate yourself from legal claims that can still be pursued. Right here, you know what he wants? He wants an acknowledgement of wrongdoing from Larry on a trial that he knows is so bunk that he ended up dropping it. That's what he's asking for, an acknowledgement of wrongdoing. You know, that's what it is. It's like, why don't you just remove yourself? Because he's going to sue you, dumbass. That's what's going to happen. He's going to sue you. And we're going to laugh because it's going to be like a contact sport. It's going to contact your wallet. That's what's going to happen. Oh, shit, your bank account just got tackled for a loss. Why make such antagonistic public statements on X, formerly Twitter? What a moron, man. Most people, I'm like, hey, Twitter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. And he's like, oh, I'm so fancy. In response to the voluntary dismissal, instead of accepting the new status quo, the new status quo. What's the new status quo? Loser, vexatious litigation, threat, dismissal, the new status quo. Larry told you he's coming for you, buddy. I'm glad you motivated him. Thank you, because I really want Larry to be motivated. I do. I really want Larry to feel like he is very motivated. Is your right to mock and humiliate someone on YouTube thumbnails so important? You're right. Oh, wait. Bubbles, did you just say it's his right? Wow, you're a dummy. My God. Is your right? Yes, all of my rights are very important. Thank you. I don't give them up for free. You know, I am not going to give them up. It is fascinating, though. He admits that is his right to do, huh? Is that why you dropped it? I'm sorry. Did Scott, quote unquote, Scott drop it? It's, you know, it's fascinating is he's telling you he's behind everything. See, this will work in court too, because he went out and admitted, again, with federal, that he brought in Scott because he knew it would look bad. They drop it, and he's admitted he's behind everything. Like, this is an open admission that he is behind this vexatious litigation. Isn't that fascinating? Because I would think otherwise, this would be an open letter from Scott Stark. But again, you know, I get the feeling that, yeah, he's not present in all, really, but name. In name, he's present. But otherwise, is he really here? You know? If Scott Stark drops a lawsuit, but no one's around to see it, does it actually make a sound? I mean, it sounds like one of those, doesn't it? He's like the invisible man, I swear. Are you a free speech lawyer for the right to mock private people on YouTube? Again, let's make this clear. He's using the private people, right? He's playing that legal game. Again, make sure, Larry, I'm going to send this over to Larry when he starts talking about it. I want to pull this up on the screen because that is a legal game he's playing. But see, he really stepped in it with this. This is what I mean. This is why they're so scared of Shara, because her backstage pass comes with admissions like this. So when they're like private people, again, she is a limited purpose public figure. She wasn't forced into that, by the way, by Jeremy Hales. Oh no. She is out there promoting through the ecosystem. She's a celebrity. But they don't want to embrace that. Why don't they? Because they want to pretend that they never said this at all. Never said it at all. Isn't that fascinating? So you got to keep reminding them. It's like, whoopsie. But of course, just like everything else, they will pretend that never happened. They never said that, right? Do you actually believe that my client is legally fair game for what has been done to her? Done to her? You mean the Ohio protection order that's against Jeremy? Wait a minute, it's not against Jeremy, is it? Oh, shit. I guess I was wrong there. My bad. My bad. Who's it against again? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Who, in my opinion, who do I think is violating that right this moment? Your clients. How did they violate it? Well, they violate it all the time because they brought people real life to the neighborhood to canvass, to try to ruin the man's reputation. They stalked and harassed him. But we'll leave that out, right? I think you don't believe. I think you don't believe. Otherwise, you and other lawyers wouldn't have jumped off when you did. Larry ends up getting a home. Larry is actually dealing with a passing right now. Love to the man, right? But Larry he's been doing things in his regular life, and this is something Bruce doesn't understand too. Some people have successful practices, and the YouTube is just their side gig, you know? So jumping off of that, Larry actually did the thing too that a lot of people would do. Now, I'm not going to say I would do this because I don't make a lot of statements of fact. I make sure that when I say things, I try to make them careful. He may get butthurt about getting mocked. They may not like the tone of things. But I'm not running around like these people are doing, calling people PDF files. I'm not making all these insane claims without something to back it up. Like, again, my opinion is based on evidence. It's pretty easy. You know, I can pull it all up. I do every live stream. So, yeah, but people like that, and CMG law, too much ongoing, easy content, view numbers, and super chat numbers. Look, again, butthurt right off the bat there. Your breadsticks really hurt him in a way that they can't. You know, if the view number, if the super chat numbers were so easy, Bruce, why don't you do it? If the view numbers were so easy, Bruce, why don't you build a channel? You know what? Come back to me when you can build a channel, not 5,000-10,000 people. And again, no shot at anybody, but he thinks he's a big timer. They all think they are. 50,000, 100,000. You build it on one thing, you know. When this finalizes, I will see it through. But when it finalizes and all the smoke and dust settles, who knows how long all of that will actually take? Because I'm sure after the federal litigation, they will still try to huff and puff. They will. Unless they go behind bars or something, they will. Because these people are not smart. And they don't feel they have anything to lose. And after they lose everything, I guess, then they won't have anything to lose, right? So even if it works that way, like I said, unless then, I don't feel like I'm dealing with a brain trust on that. But it's fascinating. Easy content. You think Northport was easy content? Actually, you know who supplies easy content? Bruce. Bruce supplies it. This is an idiot. Just to give it up without some good reason, such as realizing you've been helping someone use YouTube to destroy the lives of helpless. Again, he tries to play the private thing. That's why I go over this stuff, by the way. I would like to set the record straight because he says, oh, I've been putting this out there to show you how great my legal arguments are. Yeah, you defeat your own arguments. Good job, Bruce. Good job, buddy. For entertainment and profit. Man, so a story that is public interest can't be entertaining? I can't put on an entertaining show? Is that what you're trying to say? You have to be like, and do you know what happened today? Just because I don't sound like oh, man, somebody hit the snooze button on my life. He's calling Bruce melatonin for a reason, right? Just because that doesn't mean everyone else has to be that way. And profit, yeah. Those who can do, those who can't envy. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not trying to sit here and be a dick about money either. I don't talk about how much and all that stuff because I find that to be my granddaddy used to say, you know, if you have, when you don't have, you're like almost everyone else. And when you have, well, you're just a few steps away from not having, you know. So that's not the point. The point is to laugh at these morons and be like, yes, some people can do it successfully. And it don't have to be like, oh man, give for fencing, give for barn dominion, give for, you know. I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? Sooner or later, you know, their one well might actually run dry. Then I don't know what they're going to do. I would be interested too in seeing all those numbers again, since we're talking about what's out there. I would love to see the people that say that they have money now that filed indigent status actually tell us about their profit. As a lawyer, you know better than most who are following this, that a major aspect of What the Hale's Bad Neighbors story is abusing litigation to generate content. Holy shit, this guy is that. You know how I was saying yesterday that they are the things they describe? Remember, he put this out talking about the thumbnail litigation. That's why he's addressing it to Larry. I mean, ultimately, this is another shot hoping he can get in his pockets. But they also, the trespass 5. They keep saying they're going to sue everybody and their mother. They even went after some poor lady's freaking job out there. And I'm not laughing at that. I'm just like, this is absurd. But they went after her job there. They went to get a quote unquote expert that I don't think they'll ever try to play in court. I hope they do. I sincerely hope that they put that freaking report in there. I'm sure Jeremy Hale's lawyer hopes that too. You know, in fact, I'll tell you, it was so bad. I can say this now. Their expert was so bad that, you notice, we didn't cover it for a hot minute. We actually avoided it for days and days. And it was because it took me a whopping 15 minutes to sit down. I had to actually get a drink and stuff too. You know, I needed some caffeine and everything else while I was looking it up. But it took me about a whopping 15 minutes to run across some of the major problems that this person had, where they had been removed from several cases. And their name had been all over the place like mud. Because I had hoped to God they would be dumb enough to put it in a filing. But you could tell what it was for. It was supposed to be a social media bludgeon because it was made to generate content. That's exactly what it was for. Just like so much of this else. Did you ever watch the 10 feet video of the incident used to get a contempt ruling in Ohio? Please analyze with your legal. Please. Please, sir. Please. He's begging Larry. He's begging him. How about analyzing the issue of Ohio court exercising jurisdiction in the first place? That's a real legal issue for a real legal expert covering a real story in a serious way. Oh man, so their argument against Ohio is jurisdiction. You know why? Because it got shut down in Florida. They did. It was so bad in Florida. And his client bungled that up so badly that the corrupt ass judge who they keep defending, he had to step in over and over again to the point that an appeals court shut him down. And he can never be on one of these cases again like this. If he did, he'd have a real problem. That's why he keeps stepping away. How many cases has he stepped away from now? Interesting. So Ohio doesn't go their way. So there's always some kind of problem. Oh, why, Ohio? Why? Well, it's been spelled out, just like it was spelled out in the federal court case. We had Jeremy Hales make a perfect argument. We wouldn't have had a federal case if certain criteria weren't met. Remember, there was the money aspect. There was also the different states aspect. You remember that? Huh. So yeah, Ohio actually has a point to it. But they don't like they didn't like what happened there. Of course they would. Do you ever address the video of John Cook being accosted with homophobic slurs and challenged to a brawl? Please analyze it. You mean the guy that aren't they? By the way, here's a question. They like to throw around this idea of homophobia, and yet in their complaint, they were talking about being called a homosexual. Now, you tell me, is homosexual bad? Is that a bad thing to be called? Because they're complaining about it all the time. I mean, to me, again, if you're to the point where you're like, man, I'm going to sue you for calling me that seems a little, what's the word, dude? Homophobic. They love throwing around stuff like this, too. He's a homophobe. No. Mr. Hales is like most of us. We run a business at the end of the day. And you know what? I don't discriminate against people. First of all, I appreciate you being here. I look at it as more than a business. I look at you folks and I appreciate the hell out of you. But it's also, at its base, you don't discriminate against people for that. That's something that these folks will never understand. You know, they'll never get. John Cook, too. It's fascinating. They love to bring up John Cook. I bet you that this entire letter won't bring up the idea of John Cook and the multiple allegations about him made by his own client. Because their client, like, let me see, just to quote a little bit. You know, I quoted this last night. I'm not married to him. Jeremy had that part right. We married, and he found out that he was losing his medical and asked me, told me we were divorcing, but also he's not very nice with his words. John is very, very verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive. He abused his first wife the same way until she died. She died of alcohol and drugs. I have her in a bottle on my dresser. He also said something to me that was so awful and so horrendous that we could never, ever, ever be with him again, and etc. She has made many claims. He is a liar and a monster. Look at all the threats he's made. I'm sure none of that will come up in here. I'm sure that this is just supposed to be curated to the point that called John. See, John's going to be a real sticky situation. When they add him and try to sue people with him, his name on it, that's going to be an interesting one. It is. It'll be the same thing when they were saying, you know, they're going to represent 3. When they try to take it outside of MP is going to be her own problem because she's the worst enemy. When they try to bring up other ones too, red flags, she noted them in statements like that. That's a giant fucking red flag. And again, don't contact anyone by that. I'm just noting giant red flags. Did you ever cover the federal claims and allegations? Oh, yeah, baby. You're a YouTube legal expert after all. I'm going to say Larry is a real world practicing, very well known in especially his specific field, but beyond. Not just a YouTube legal expert. If you look at the numbers that he throws down, you know why? Because of his wins. You see his wins. And you talk to him and you get that feel. You know. Actually, I think you know. But, and you cover this story in a one-sided way. Covered it in a one-sided way. Has he really gotten into the federal case? I mean, really? I'm sure he would enjoy the chaos and stupid, but has he really gotten into that? So don't you owe it to at least give your legal expert views on the federal claims? You mean signs that you pretend? Here's his arguments, by the way. You don't need to be a legal expert to think this is the dumbest argument ever. Oh, signs? Well, they were put up. What was there, 40 minutes of daylight? Did anyone see them? 3 people? For sure that you know of? On a giant busy highway, too? Well, do you know? Or do you just know? I mean, the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm sure he could laugh, but you know what would be the problem when he brings it up? You know what they mean by one-sided? They mean when you look at this litigation and you're not like, oh, look at Bruce's point. If you think he sounds like a moron, then, what's your thoughts on the Hale's deposition conduct? And his, yours, lawyers, and mine. Well, you look like a moron. You had to be shown what to do with stuff. And as far as Hales is concerned, let's just talk about that. Your ass was trying to gaslight him. You were trying to get him to take the bait, remember? That's what your PR said. I wonder how much you have to do with that message, by the way, Bruce. I wonder. I mean, we've seen where you all had live August 15th and you had discussions like that. How much of those narratives are you responsible for? How many planning sessions do you have or have you had? I mean, those are interesting statements. Things that would be, I don't know, interesting to answer, right? But Jeremy was in a unique position here. That he has somebody that, again, has tried to build an ecosystem to ruin his life. Not a lawyer, but very much, in my opinion, a co-conspirator. Very much. Because we're not talking about somebody that is you're not a detractor. In my opinion, you're a defendant. There's a big difference there. We'll see what the judge thinks about that. But every filing in a legal case has been analyzed to death by a bunch of what the hell surrogates. If this little squawking mouth thinks he can go out and build a real channel, I'll tell you what, man. You go out, you build you up, like I said, 100,000 people. Get back to me. You see how that does. Because being a mouthpiece has gotten you what? 3,000? You know, Shara overran that number just like that, pretty much. It's fascinating, isn't it? They go out, promise people views. They promise them celebrity. And yet, isn't that fascinating as well? Like, doesn't that make anybody that accepted his claim? I got to think about this too. So anybody who accepted his thing of, I'll get you views, I'll get you notice, I'll make you a star. Are they limited public for limited purpose public figures too? Because they definitely wanted it. They definitely signed on for it. Are they going to screech about how they're private individuals as well? But they're all non-lawyers. Yeah, this non-lawyer has been pretty fucking good at calling cases for a while, by the way. You know, let's go with a very high-profile case. You know, one that 2.5 years later, crazy fucking people are still trying to come after me for. I don't have to sit around and cry about mac and cheese. You know, but the mac and cheese, that's what a lawyer guy, right? But they're all non-lawyers. So you carve a niche. Actually, he already has his. And the fascinating thing is there are lawyers that talk about this stuff. I don't consider myself, I actually don't call myself a journalist most of the time, but that's what we are. We're pretty much independent journalists. Megan is more of a contemporary, what you would understand as an independent journalist plus new media. She's both, you know, in there. She works with independent press that's established, plus she does her own thing. Us, we're just building our baby out here. But even our side. So look, they have sides, by the way. I don't consider myself on anyone's side. I think that I'm on the side of what I think is truthful. Ultimately, right now, everything I see has showcased that Jeremy Hales is telling the truth. So if that makes me on the side of Jeremy Hales, well, that's because the truth is there. But they're like our side. See, that's fascinating. That shows you why they turn against people so fast. See, these little admissions, these little slip-ups like that, our side, your side. What that tells you is if you don't walk lockstep with us, then we will wreck you. We will try anyway. Has no YouTube lawyer covering the case yet. You know why? Because most lawyers are embarrassed to fucking deal with people like yourselves. They are. I mean, oh Lord. Then they want to get into the adoption thing. I'm gonna roll this through there because it's the same argument we've heard many a time. He's just trying to be like, he's trying to spin this. This is actually one of his filing things. You know, did you know an experienced Miami family lawyer signed and filed a court petition to have Miss Preston's child removed and placed with her client, a biological aunt, as fictive kin by statutory definition, blah, 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 blah. Did you know said person, your client, had never even met the child, and that the petition was based on information the aunt saw and edited what the hell's videos? Not exactly due diligence. Again, trying to blame Jeremy Hales for all of that, isn't it? But look, all of this, again, I'm not going to waste all day reading all of this. I'm rolling through it there. But this is one of the things they tried to pull in the file. And here's one of Bruce's problems. He likes to hear himself speak. Or not speak. He likes to hear this. He's like, I'm the smartest guy in the room. And the problem is that apparently when people question him, according to folks like Shara, he gets very vocal and very angry about it. I can imagine. You can feel it. I think you can. And yet, certified in her filing that her client has an emotionally significant relationship with minor child, possesses all characteristics of family relations to this child. And did you know that this is done in concert with major month-long storyline on what the hell's about emergency removal court proceedings? You know, if there's a court proceeding, by the way, and I cover it, am I covering the case? Yes. You know what's fascinating? These are the same arguments that the weirdos out there. I was showing you this yesterday. It's the same fucking arguments these people do. They always try to play this game. Like the Hurdies, for example. They still pull this. Look at this shit. I'll come back to you in a minute. But like I said, the same thing. This is going on right now. This was from the 31st. You know, were you paid to do this? Are you creating narratives? And I'm like, no, clowns. You know, I don't get paid by these people. I get paid because of you morons. You know? BBB, these people, whatever. They're the clowns that I hitch and make sure that they carry me all the way to their big top. Fun times. But about emergency removal court proceedings to save the child and place her with the biological aunts, i.e. complete strangers, and that the aunts appeared live on What the Hales prior to retaining the firm. In other words, a lawyer used her license to file oh my God, look, the guy who files frivolous lawsuits is saying that other people file frivolous lawsuits. The guy that can't understand that you have the right to go and retrieve your fucking property how you see fit. Because after 5 people plus, get this, law enforcement for doing it as well. He wants to say that they have no right. Again, the red flags alone, with the statements about John Cook, they should be something they should be talking about, but they ignore them. They will never pick that up and talk about it. They never, ever acknowledge that. And we're not talking about old items that have been stated. We're talking about things that came up when Cook was arrested. We're talking about things that have been said to everyone from Shara all the way back into Northport. These things have been repeated like a mantra about this man. And we see the anger and the hate and the loathing to the point that, again, they're making threats about a man that lives across the street. That alone, that definitely seems to warrant some concern to me. But they're like, oh, that's a YouTube story. Oh, no. That's a red herring. How about doing some expert legal analysis on your channel of that part? You know, it'd be bad if Larry decides to take him up and just totally obliterate him. You know what? Then they'll start crying. They'll be like, we're going to strike you. Actually, you know what happens? When he did cover things, you know what happened? They sued him. They sued him over thumbnails. Here's the thing, though. You know what this does? I want to make this clear, by the way. All right? This is the biggest bungling fuck up that Bruce has made. You know why? Because he just invited DUI Guy to cover this story. He has formally invited him to cover it. He has told him here that this is something he wants him to talk about. He wants him to talk about his clients. He wants him to talk about the child. He wants him to talk about John Cook. You do realize how big of a fuck up that is. It's one of the reasons, like, I wanted to wait to really say that here. But I mean, really, you think about that. He has invited him to cover. How about you do this? How about you cover this? Okay. He's telling him to cover this story. Now, he didn't like what he had to say. But he's telling him, you need to cover it. You need to keep going. He's just telling you he didn't like that. Again, this will play really well in court. Congratulations. See, this is a lawyer fucking up his own cases. Because what this does is it applies to all of us that cover it. You can't pick and choose who you ask to cover something. When he's been reaching out to journalists and He's reaching out to YouTubers, and he's reaching out to lawyers. You can't pick and choose. That alone is its own problem. But then this is a formal invitation to Larry to cover. The same guy that they sued, and they say they're going to keep trying to sue. But you just told him he could cover that. How's that work? You've given him permission. Can you begin to imagine how it must have been for my client to hear a YouTube celebrity and thousands of his fans calling for a child to be taken from her for months, and to learn that a lawyer actually filed? Maybe you're not interested in a story about a licensed family court lawyer taking a bribe disguised as a legal fee. This person could sue you over this. You realize that? Taking a bribe disguised as a legal fee. Look what he's saying about this lawyer. He's crazy. Fucking Bruce, you are unhinged, dude. A bribe. He's accusing Jeremy Hales of bribing a lawyer in the disguise of a legal fee. This also is something that can play in his case too, because he said that he expects this to be public. He wants that to be said publicly. Huh. What an idiot. To file court petitions as part of a fake YouTube story being propagated to terrorize a mother into believing she could lose her child all for entertainment and profit. But that's a real story. I believe, all right, here's some thumbnail stuff. I believe you can neither settle the thumbnails case nor cover the story of a serious legal analysis without being seen as a turncoat. See, this is their spin right here. Do you like this? This is spin. They're trying to say the real reason that Larry won't do it is because Larry, let me tell you something about Larry. Larry has said things that I fervently disagree with. We have disagreed, and that is okay. Not in this case, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying over the time I've known him, I have disagreed with him on certain things, and that is okay. We are allowed to disagree. Because Larry actually isn't just some rando lawyer out there covering something. Larry's somebody that I actually respect in this game. Larry's the kind of guy that if he thought there was a real thing going on, if this guy wasn't just full of shit, he would take it up. They threatened Larry. They threatened him with litigation. And then they did it. And Larry said, if you do this, he was like, I'll give you a chance to step away. But if you do that, well then, this, what it looks like is a desperate plea. Oh, maybe they're trying the reverse psychology angle. Oh man, I really know that. Maybe you'll give it up, please. Please don't sue me. Please don't sue me. By other YouTubers we know of, and the big guy himself. The big guy himself. Hey, you're the big guy. The big guy himself. That would be something to put in quotations. He's the big guy himself, man. Jeremy, the big guy himself. By other YouTubers we know of, you know, the people he's obsessed with, there's a handful of folks. Like, there are people that know Larry. Again, you have Megan Fox, myself. I think we know him as well as you can. Again, this is YouTube. It's not like we're hanging out at each other's lawns and barbecue. If he'd want to come over and barbecue, he would be welcome, by the way. But it's not like we do that. Well, beyond that, Larry would not be afraid to be like, yo, this is a trash talk. So, again, it's so ridiculous. MG Law actually invited me on his channel a few months back, and in knowledge he thought it would nuke his channel to have me on. He then backed out. Well, did he think that you were poison, or I'm curious about that. Honestly, I don't know MG from anybody, so he's actually not somebody I know, pro or con. So if he doesn't want to cover something, like, he has the right to do that too. He has the right not to like something or like people. Hell, like I said, I don't know who does or doesn't like me. And if he doesn't like somebody, that would be his right too. But if he feels like his channel would get nuked by something, having BBB on, I'll tell you what would nuke your channel. It would be the same thing that happened with Veteran Nation. That's what I would think. Again, nothing against MG. I just don't know him. You know, like, I don't know a lot of people. I'm not a big YouTube trust person. You know, I've had my own issues that are unrelated to any of these folks, but I've dealt with people that are essentially, I would say, like BBB in disguise. In fact, statements like this, I fully expect them to. He probably said something to BBB or something like that, and they're probably gonna drop it because that's the kind of friends that they are. They don't care if you shut the fuck up and do your own thing. He then backed out. See, it's really about that's the thing, really, though. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if he did or didn't, or if this is all fabricated, who knows? Like I said, but really, what it's all about, what really rankles the old Brewster, is the fact that these people won't have him on. MG Law didn't have him on. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what will create whatever they're planning to do. They're planning to do something to MG Law. That's what this is telling me. Something's going to come up with MG Law. You mark my words. I don't know what it is, but they're going to do something with MG Law. I have this. I just have this. Well, more than a hunch. When they're stating it over and over again, they're planning on doing something related to that. And of course, they're trying to do something to Larry, because Larry wouldn't have him on. Look at this. We asked you for practically nothing, a mere gesture, but you engaged in a discussion in bad faith, never intending to get back to us, and then publicly reported that we made a settlement demand to falsely sound like it involved money and threaten some retaliatory legal action. Actually, he told you that he's going to sue you before. Look, he's butthurt there too. What he's doing is he's spinning them, reaching out yet again and wanting a settlement. Whether that involves money or it's, please take those down and we'll stop, sir. Whatever it means, it's still them reaching out and trying desperately when they know that they're going to drop the litigation. See, that's the kicker that's being left out of it. But he's like, we just wanted a gesture. No, you wanted him to give away the right to. That's what you wanted. After he had spent money, by the way, because Randy's time ain't free. That's the other part of this, too. Randy's time show ain't free. And it shouldn't be. I'm not saying it should be either. Well, he's gotten to the point where he's effective. He doesn't bill by the hour. He bills by the hour because of effectiveness. Your coverage of this story. By the way, his coverage. Oh, did Thomas's. Let's see what's said there. For entertainment and profit was begun knowing the bad neighbors were targeted for almost a year at that point, and you never did any objective legal analysis, including the issues with the Thomases. Well, I'm going to say that he was spot on about the Thomases. He said that the Thomases, aka the grudge judge, had done some really questionable bullshit. And you know who agreed with him? You know, here's the thing. BBB likes to stand out on his own and yell, oh, you're questioning this poor, poor judge. You know who else questioned that judge? An appeals court. They agreed. They agreed that there were problems and they need to step the fuck away. They always leave that out, don't they? But you weren't covering a story. You were propagating a storyline. Oh, dun, dun, dun. This guy has created a storyline. He's created this storyline about, with no proof whatsoever, that Jeremy Hales is this gigantic puppet master behind the scenes. Like I said, that he's forcing people to, I'll tell you, like for me, my channel is big enough that nobody can ever tell me what to do. I never will be able to tell me what to do. It is a luxury that you folks have allowed me. If I think something is right, I will note it. If I think something should be questioned, we've gone to war with the entire mainstream apparatus before. And they always argue the same thing. Isn't that fascinating? And you were doing it to make money from it without worrying about copyright strikes, such as have been falsely made against several small channels trying to objectively cover this story. These are the same people threatening to copyright strike people. Look at what Megan's dealt with because of these idiots. I mean, look at that. Look at what they've pulled. Yeah. That's very fascinating, isn't it? Larry, you were a lawyer for 5 years when you decided to become a YouTuber. Oh, look, he wants to hold your hand. Larry, you're my knight in shining armor, and I love you. I like that. That's man, somebody could do that. You know, if you could take that Kenny Rogers song, Lady, you know, Lady, and you change it to Larry. Have a Bruce singing it, Larry. Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. I'll never get that out of my head. I'll never hear Kenny Rogers sing that song again. Not like that. Oh my Lord. Holding yourself out as any sort of legal analysis commentator is only possible on your own YouTube channel by providing lowbrow entertainment. Dun, dun, dun. See, this is the same thing. He's thrown in with the herdies. That's what they tell me. That's how they're going to try to get their backing. They're going to try. I bet you money. They've reached out to those fucking whack jobs over there. They're like, oh, please, you hated these guys when they talked about Johnny Depp. Yeah. Yes, my entertainment of the Depp story was, no, it was there. It was definitely there. But you know what else? I had people reach out to me all the time, just like on this, and be like, why not cover everything else? Because I can. It's not the way my brain works. I spent years making sure I got it right. I wanted to see every shred of evidence. See, that's the thing too. You know, they complain about reaching out, like the people. Like, I would have reached out to Lynette Preston. In fact, I have offered Lynette Preston to tell me her side of the story. Not through Bruce, though. Bruce is not invited to the gig. Their PR is invited to the gig. You know what? Jeremy Hales told me his side of things and allowed me to ask any question. I asked him point blank before my interview if there was anything off limits. And all he would not want to talk about, because he didn't want anything to seem like it would be bragging about any success, you know, or this is something like for myself. Again, you don't want to feel like you're ha, look at me. Jeremy Hales was open to me asking him anything. I told him, I was like, no matter where it goes. He was like, it doesn't matter, no matter where it goes. He didn't know me from Adam. You know, he had no idea what I would or wouldn't ask him. I mean, I could have asked him anything, but you know what? You know, the one thing that really proved his side of a storyline is that he came with evidence. He had it with him. And these are things that in their disputes of his evidence are ridiculous. And we have covered those. Now, I do laugh at them because I find them preposterous. Absolutely preposterous. Remember, Bruce, in his infinite wisdom, told us the federal case wouldn't go as far. It would be done by now. It'd be over with. He also said that any of us that talk about this, he wants us to talk about it. He just doesn't want us to talk about it the way we're talking about it. AK, he doesn't like our opinions on it. If I went out and I were saying 100% that his client, like, you know, I thought that they were in the right, he would be totally okay with that. But he doesn't like the fact that I don't think that his clients are in the right. And I don't think he's a good lawyer. And as far as PR, I know exactly what a fucking PR machine looks like because I've faced off with bigger and better ones before. You know, it's funny too. They're so afraid of I'm a god that freaking doesn't even use a person as a face. They're afraid of a cartoon avatar with a voice. Because you might hit close to the truth. That's what they're afraid of. But, with him, lowbrow entertainment, not serious legal analysis. Actually, Larry went to the point that he went to the Depp trial. He sat in that courtroom and he gave his opinions legally on that case. Like, I'm not, another thing that these people do, this is something you run into with some lawyers. They think that somehow, like BBB here, they have some imparted knowledge because they may be able to, I say may be able to tell you some of the intricacies, the ins and outs of law that maybe us poor lay people, we might not know. I can't tell you about every single freaking thing you could pull here or there. But you know what? I can pull up every document. I can go through it. I've learned a lot about law. I'll tell you that over the last few years. I've learned a lot. I feel like I've learned a lot more than some of these morons have. It's fascinating too. People like Megan Fox, for a not a lawyer, has called these things very well too, hasn't she? Strange how us non-lawyer times we get it right. But you're not developing or sharpening any legal skills on YouTube. Is it about sharpening his legal skills? I thought he was putting on a show. We do have shows. This is a show. It's not how to be a lawyer. There's plenty of that out there. You can go to law school. If you want to learn to be a lawyer, folks, you can go to law school. You can pick up books. In fact, I like going, we have community yard sales, is what they call it. And there's a neighboring county here. There's a point to this, by the way, that has just a giant, again, they call it community yard sale. They put it on their main street, and their library sells things. And when they do that, I like to pick up law books there because in my free time, I like to go over one of the things. I cover so much law that I'm like, hey, I'm gonna learn about this. I also hit up lawyers behind the scenes. If I don't understand something, and here's a fascinating thing that you'll find with lawyers too. You don't find a consensus opinion about anything. So even the learned out there they don't readily agree, but it is interesting when they start readily agreeing on a case like this. But sharpening his legal skills or developing them, he already has developed his legal skills. That's your real world practice there. Sharpening them, honing them. He's not trying people on YouTube. I'm sure he learns things. He learns it through colleagues and more, just like people learn from him. But you're not educating anyone about anything either. Oh, he educated a lot of people. Then you look at the butthurt here. It's about him. Look, all of the attacks. You know what? When people laugh at all of the stupid from BBB, apparently that's an attack on him. What's untrue, Bruce? What's untrue? Really? You want to put something out? What's untrue? What's an attack on Bruce? Because he sounds like an absolute moron in his filings. That's a statement of freaking fact in my opinion. Go on record. Put it in a filing. Did I call you an ambulance chaser? Is that an attack? Because I really do feel you were an ambulance chaser. That I don't feel like you have any clients. And if you're going to pull that, well, I have these people. Come on. Okay. See, I based that on watching a guy sit online at the time 5 to 9 hours a day. But against me by Fox. Look at the butthurt there. Tug. Shizzy. Yourself. And the other channels begging to become relevant in this growing YouTube legal drama. Actually, I feel like some days, again, this is, I'm sure Jeremy feels like this. You have to have this mindset. I feel like I could cover a case about white bread or maybe mac and cheese. In fact, he begged. Isn't it fascinating? He begged for people to cover mac and cheese. But now everybody's a nobody. He inserted himself into this litigation too. He actually went and put himself in it. And he said it was because he wanted, and he had become famous. He himself says that, which makes him a public figure, baby. But it has no effect on my regular law practice, and none of my clients know about this case. None of my clients. The YouTubers just spend their time streaming about me, making up defamatory lies, threatening my livelihood. Are you kidding me? You're the moron that again. This case will be done. This I decree. He's mad because people pointed out again. What's going to happen if he tries to sue people over this bullshit? He went after a lady's job for freaking in a law office, by the way, for posting about this stuff. What a piece of garbage. What an absolute piece of garbage. This woman felt she had to cease and desist these people, it looks like. And again, I agree with that. I think honestly, I don't even think it'll help either. I think honestly, if she says more on it, she says that she doesn't want to be silenced with her free speech, freedom of expression. They want to take that from you. You speak again, they'll try to ruin your life. So, but making it up or their followers wouldn't be able to contact a single client of mine, even if they set out to try. So many jokes write themselves off that line. You'll never find my clients. No wonder why. Oh, shit. if anyone filed some bar grievance, maybe some have, although I haven't been notified, it would help the story be more widely covered. That person that you went after their livelihood said that they filed a grievance. You think that's going to help your story, by the way? You think witness intimidation will help your story? You think that will? You think that line will help your story? You're going to say that that's something that Shara just created out of thin air? Is that what you want to say? I think Shara has one hell of a grievance she could write. I violated no rules of conduct, not even close. Do you think I love this shit. Look, do you think any emails that I've sent to Fox, to Tug, to Shizzy, to Dave Neal were sent by me under the delusion that they would not be shared, publicized, and mocked by them? Again, he knows that they're so ridiculous that people will mock them. They will. They'll do more than that, though. They call out the stupidity in all of it. The little things that he admits to. Again, he admits to his fame. Or at least in his mind, he's famous. He admits to being a public figure. He also, on top of that, he brings up some fascinating things. Like behind the scenes, we saw him throwing his fit about wanting to get a hold of a recording. You remember all of that, right? We saw that with Shara. And yet, he's mailing people like myself saying, everybody's just hunky-dory. Everybody loves one another. They're singing Kumbaya at the airport. And really, in the really real, not La La Land, what we really find out about that is that communications we saw. Again, if you've not watched them, you should definitely check out Shara's video with that last one, because there's communication in there that is saying that person that's supposedly just hunky-dory happy was afraid of being sued by his own flesh and blood because he was afraid to, quote unquote, go against her. That's fascinating. He talks about people being on the outs. And then slipping somebody a hundo. Being like, ooh, give me that recording, please. I pay you, son. I pay you to give me my narratives. Okay. But this is hilarious. This is deflection there. He's like, they're making my legal arguments. No, they're breaking your legal arguments, son. I hold back with certain things too, because you know what? There's another level of this. I make commentary to a point that tears apart his stuff factually, but I'm not trying to help him in a courtroom. There are next level things that will be discussed later on. We will go back and we will look at certain things, and we will talk about how bungling you are in a courtroom and how you don't even understand basic fucking rules with a federal court, to the point that I think if we told you this, I actually think that you hope that we will help you make a better filing. I think that's what's there. Because Randy has to coach you. And I mean, these are on basic things. What's an objection to form, baby? I mean, come on. But there are other things in those filings that were there that, again, I think you could strengthen his argument. I'm not saying it would be effective, but I'm saying that it is so inept that you couldn't help but strengthen it. So really try not to walk into that space because don't help an idiot un-idiot himself, I suppose. But we'll return to those one day. You just chapter mark this little discussion right here, because we'll come back to that one day. It'll be a fun one. When my private emails, they're not your private emails, jackass, by the way. There's no private. You send me an email. See, typically, if somebody writes me in good faith, How many times have you ever seen me show people's emails? I show threats. I redact the people out of threats. Even then, I redact names. Even then. But BBB is part of a case where he's making legal threats against people. So I'm making sure that I document everything. And he's butthurt about this stuff too, because his letters, they didn't, quote unquote, help make his legal points. They actually became part of a case against him. Isn't that interesting? And they'll actually become more if he decides he wants to fire up old thumbnail litigation. Or he wants to come after other folks and say, oh, they were doing X, Y, and Z, covering, oh, how dare they? You invited us to the game, Bruce. You invited us. You told us we should cover it, just like this. But when my private emails containing my legal points are read to thousands of people, it serves my cause better than any way I can think of. Well, man, you must not think of a lot then. That they're being shown by Megan, Shizzy, and Tug to mock me reflects on them, not me. That's some butthurt right there. He's mad about money, and he's mad about us reading his filings and reading his emails. See, really, he thought he wanted that until he got that. Really, he wanted to come on our shows. He hoped and hoped. He hoped he could huff and puff on our shows and blow away the mac and cheese, but it didn't work, did it? Look at this butthurt right here. Megan Fox did live yoga. Oh my God, live yoga. She did live yoga. Holy crap. While laughing at Miss Preston's distress during her videotaped depot. Distress, her screaming and yelling and making a fool of her. I'm going back, man. I'm going to have time. I'm telling you, we are going to hit all of that, all of it. It's going to happen. I know. I never got through it because so much other stuff has come up. But we will. We have plenty of time before this case hits. But we will. Just because they keep bringing it up. This is one of their talking points. They're trying to say that somehow, in some way, out of that, it actually shows. Remember the embarrassment that it causes? A judge said that that is not some type of reason that you can shut things down. She brought litigation. She decided to go pro se on her litigation. And when she did that, she looked like a damn fool out there. That's not anyone else's. Man, there are thousands and thousands of freaking videos where deposition gone wrong. I think what they're afraid of is it's going to become one of these big channels finds that one day. Holy crap. You know, I mean, Jeremy is a big channel, but he's involved in the litigation. So I discount his channel on that. You know, a big channel finds it, like one of these channels that it just covers law clips. They start looking into that. Holy crap again. But you see the thing here too. Look at what they're mad about. Asking viewers to send money. Again, every time we say that, that is not a grifting point. It is a funny point, but that is a point that is so nasty for them because they, again, when they run shows, without them saying that they're fundraising for something, they watch success. They watch Jeremy Hales have success. They watch Megan Fox have success. They watch myself have success. They watch Shizzy have success. And it makes them mad. It makes them very mad. But I'm not concerned about what she and her fans think of me as a lawyer or otherwise. Look, he just randomly throws himself in there again. I don't care. I don't care what you think. You know what that says to me? It does. It very much does. Then there's this. And again, drink this statement in. We'll give you another opportunity, which you don't deserve, to quote unquote settle by removing the images of Miss Preston from your thumbnails. Now, we already dropped this. And like I said, they can bring it again. But what it shows is that when they dropped it and they decide that they're going to come back and do this yet again and try to make it something else, whatever their fucked up little plan is, when they try to tie in, again, this insane conspiracy, good luck with that. I mean, what they're showing to a court is that they voluntarily dropped a case on this subject. And now they're begging. He begged. Remember, with this statement goes when we were up here. That's this too. Like it's the same thing here. They're returning to it. They're like, remember, he said, we asked you for practically nothing, a mere gesture, and you engaged in a discussion in bad faith. Never intended to get back to us and publicly reported we had a settlement demand to falsely sound like it involved money and threaten some retaliatory legal action. That's him trying to play this off again. Now he's making threats again. That's all he does, man. He threatens fucking lawfare. And I'm not saying he doesn't file vexatious litigation. He does. I'm saying that he's proven that it's vexatious. His own statements, his own threats have. He's going to end up getting sued into the ground for it. But if so, wait, let's read it all there. We'll give you another opportunity, which you don't deserve, to settle by removing the images of Miss Preston from your thumbnails. If so, you have public proof of Miss Preston's release of claims against you in the form of this open letter. Oh, I gotta adjust my chair. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God. Very truly, Bruce. Isn't this magical? Isn't this magical? You've got to admit, that's a beautiful letter. It's very thought out. It's very thought-provoking. But more than that, like I said, many times I've actually hired a team of experts to come in and work with me on it. One expert, my on-the-ground reporter, let's turn to them and ask them what they think. Am I not entertained? Are you not entertained? Oh, yes. Thank you. Back to us. I love it. This is great. I love this letter. I do. I love it because he's desperately trying to reframe things. And he thinks this looks good. Write as many as you want, Bruce. Oh, they definitely. You told us right there. Everything that you do. You think it somehow looks good. Well, I'm more than happy to comment on an idiot lawyer that punches holes in his case. I'm more than happy to do that. Let's read some super chats together, shall we? I love this case. I do. Again, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, but I do love it. It is crazy, though, is it not? You've got to admit, like, this stuff is absolutely nuts there. But Wanda, I'll pick up right here. I can't remember if I hit this one. It was right there on my break there. So let's see how butthurt they get about this. The 50 there, indeed. Boom. Thank you, too. Thank you for backing, too. Seriously. Appreciate you. SF, thanks for the 2. For the butthurt. Let me pull down the script. I'm also going to redirect let me pull up my redirect. It's not yet begun, but I'm trying to be fun with this. Shizzy actually going to, in about 20 minutes or so, Shizzy will be going live. And when we finish today, I will redirect him. Let me set this up. I see his reminder. Oh, by the way, too, since there's a bunch of you here, tomorrow, if you could do me a very good solid, I'm going to have a video come up tomorrow talking about witness intimidation. All right? Now, this will include 3 folks. It will come up around 12:15 my time. That is Central Time. It is 8:42 here at night. 12:15 in the daytime, not at night, in the daytime for me. So if you would set your clocks to it, and if you can hit it when it comes up again, it helps it out for sure. It definitely does. And it's something that I want people to see. So we will have that come up tomorrow. I have it set. I've already made it. It's a wonderful little video too. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Let me show you something on it actually. You can let me see if we can lock in on it real quick. And we'll read here. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, there we are. Let's see, look at this beautiful thing. Look at that. Look at all that wonder. Look at all that wonderful goodness. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Talking about depot, talking about witness intimidation. Oh, man. Talking about, again, about where that comes from. All that wonderful stuff. That'll be here tomorrow. We'll actually discuss it. I didn't lock in very good, though. It didn't lock in on the preview window, but you can see it like through there. There's a preview window for it, too. But you can see it all there on the bottom, just ready to go. Isn't that fun? Isn't that neat? Wouldn't you think my video's complete? Fun times. So anyway, let's continue. Joan, thanks for the 20. It's raining breadsticks. It's raining breadsticks. Hallelujah. Thank you, Joan. Appreciate you. Frederick, thanks for 2. Megan's in the chat. Watch out for flame hamsters. I know. Be careful about those for sure. Megan, by the way, props to her. I've given her a hard time how she was going to miss out on the night. And she's like, I've got gas. I can't come home. I like messing with her about stuff. It's so fun. But props to her. You know, I was like, man, you know, I enjoy the back and forth, the banner. It's a lot of fun. So when she comes back, but that's another thing these folks will never get to. They don't get that the cutting up and the humor and the entertainment and stuff. That's because a couple of friends are hanging out and having fun. And we're hanging out with you all. I know a lot of you all, again, we're all like friends hanging out. We're having a good time. You know, we're covering something serious. But when you cover something serious, like I said before, I heard a statement at one time. It was like, I laugh, or rather we laugh either because we're trying not to go crazy or because we already have one or the other, you know, and it's like, yeah, that's about right. Victoria, thanks for the 5, but hurt money for the toes. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Victoria. I have my favorites. Thanks for the 2. Breadsticks for you, but none for the B to the B to the B. Oh, man, so sad. So sad. So sad. Thank you. The OG. Thank you for the 10 there, just to piss the haters off. Thank you again for the laugh and the groupie cash train. I know, man, the groupie cash train rolls on. And thank you very much. Appreciate you there. Little B. Thank you for the $3 super sticker on that, too. Actually, I've been watching the chat quite a bit today, so thank you. Got to see that one come in. Sometimes I don't get to see them until after. I watch them on previews to see what they are. You know, when I go back and it's all getting ready just to see what people sent. I like to see those. But I saw that one come through live, so thank you. SF, thanks for the 2. Come on, Megan. You know you wanna. I know. You knew you wanted to be here. You know you're missing out, Megan. You know you missed the show, Megan. Jay, thanks for the 5 there. Love your show, Tug. So much laughter you and Megan bring. Much need in today's world. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we try to, like I said, we try to have some fun and try to also cover something that's important. Lee, thanks for the 10 there. Thanks for covering this insanity. Man, I'm addicted to covering this insanity. I'll admit it. Right now, I am addicted to covering this insanity. Why? Because, man, how can you not? I mean, it's insane. It needs to be covered. But my gosh, I have seen some crazy cases, but this is one that, ooh, it's for the books. Becky, thanks for the 2. BBB's master plan, stupidity. Indeed, he's got the stupidity down. Wes and Bama, thanks for the 2 months. Larry's a road runner. Bruce is the coyote. Beep beep. He's going to be a wrecking ball. I can't wait to cover Larry, because Larry is not going to take kindly to Bruce trying to play these games with him, I'm sure. And that'll be a lot of fun to cover. Sandra, thank you for the gifted membership there too. So thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for being here too. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the fun. When you're dealing with Albertini, did you realize that making fun of crazy loons would end up being your full-time job? Who's been the craziest? Woo. I mean, just on sheer like crazy next level would be Albertini. He's probably the craziest person I've seen. Like that man. He and his group were also dangerous. They were ex-felons, you know. I mean, they were homeless at the time too, so they could go anywhere they wanted. They were not worried about legal repercussions. So just the sheer insanity to that, making, I mean, they went to the point of making false reports in 6 states, making false FBI reports. So that's probably the craziest person. Like with this, though, I've never see if I were squaring off with like Michelle Preston in my real life, I would say these people would be the craziest if they were in my real life, though. Like just on the sheer volume of insanity, the things that you see from the background, like this is getting crazier. Like it's a case. I think this is probably the craziest case, though, for sure. I've seen a few crazy ones, but this is really out there. Oh man, and that's why I feel bad for Jeremy, because all jokes aside, man, this isn't his real life. That's awful. From Veg Beast, thanks for the father. We wish you a merry breadstick. We wish you a merry breadstick. We wish you a merry breadstick and a happy new year. More breadsticks, yeah, baby. Yeah, indeed. Thank you for that. Thank you for the song too. Miss Right is Right. Thanks for the month there. Love me some tug. Miss you, Megan. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. And indeed, Miss Megan on that too. Yeah, Max Lab. What's up, Max Lab? Thanks, by the way. Max Lab always sends these things. There are many people that send. Max Lab always makes sure to send stuff too. I'm terrible about writing back and being like, yo, thanks to everybody out there. If you send something to me, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Max Lab. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And it is amazing. It was good. It was a present I wasn't thinking I would get today. Angela, thanks for the 10. Love you, Tug. Hey, love return. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Taz, thanks for the 2. Keep sharing the truth and the proof. Hugs. Indeed. Now, that's the thing you got to keep going with. Document it all. That's what some folks don't understand, the importance to documenting it all too. Why? Because you never know what's going to be important. Like all this stuff gets hammered back into the recesses of your mind too. Oh, it's something else. Cindy, thanks for the vibe. I'm having a great day. I'm off work for the next 10 days. Ooh, man, got that one on. I hope you have a great time off. I hope you enjoy yourself. That feels good. Just to be like, that's good times. I'm not going to try that name. I don't know how to go with that. Okay, I'm going to call it, say BTT. Okay. I don't know where to go with your name. But thank you for the month there. I feel like if I even try that, no matter what it is, I'm going to mess it up. But thank you. I appreciate you. Wendy, thanks for the 10 there. Hello, Tug, Moss, chat. Just because they lose their minds. It's fascinating, isn't it? And they admit it. That's the crazy thing. They admit it all. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the dude. Tug, where are your crystal pickles for sale? I'm afraid somebody might mistake what my crystal pickles are. Wait a minute. I do think it's fascinating that I could scrounge around in my backyard and find rocks. Some of the rocks, like $5 rocks that you could find at the fucking flea market. People are like, "Ooh, $75." Like, man, maybe I'm in the wrong rift. AJ's World. What's up, AJ's World? How you doing, by the way? Thanks for the 2 there. It's BBB's Hot Mess Express. Next up, Butthurt. Yeah, all aboard. Wait, don't get on board that one. Gross. Be careful. Be careful when you arrive at the station. Ohio Gal, thanks for the 2. Always love LOLing with you and Megan. I know, man. I have a lot of fun. Like I said, when we get together, they have fun on their own, laughing about stuff. We get together, it's freaking riot. So, that'll be fun. Like it'll be a week. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. And Travis, thanks for the 10. If I'm running family ranch as being self-employed, it's kind of nice to can drink, not get fired, just not stress about life. I really have to show up. My boss is in Hale. Yeah, I get to set my my priorities for the day. Like right now, it's been good. I have more time to hang out with my kids, structure. Like I couldn't ask for anything better. And again, you folks definitely have made that possible too. So thank you. Cunning Linguist, thanks for the 2. He's not even a lawyer for the thumbnail case. I know. Well, he's telling you he's behind it though. Isn't that the fascinating part? So he's not the lawyer behind the thumbnail case, and yet, or he's not the lawyer for the thumbnail case, but he's definitely the lawyer behind the thumbnail case, isn't he? It just, like I said, and he went after Jeremy Hales with all of this stuff. It looks worse and worse. It looks like some crazy plot he's brought more people into. Janice, thanks for the 10. Dude's foreskin needs to buy stock. Preparation H for butthurt self. How did this guy pass the bar? Never seen such an incompetent lawyer. Yeah, man. Maybe the stock market. He might single-handedly take the stock up. Roberta, thanks for the 2 there. There's not a statement attached, but this is a statement. Thank you. Appreciate you, my friend. Alec, thanks for the 2. BBB got PR Dave to stream it for him earlier. I'm sure he stuck it right in their little greasy palms, where he's trying to pretend he didn't just sit down and be like, look what I did. I'm sure. Sue, thanks for the 5. Dropping breadsticks because Papa Nut doesn't give up. Love you, Papa Nut. Love it. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you. My adventures in homebrewing. Thanks for the 2. BBB has his panties in a twist. I know that's got to be uncomfortable. I've never worn panties, but it would seem like they would be uncomfortable. Maybe that's the answer. Untwist them. Laura, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. What's up, Laura B, by the way? I appreciate you, Laura. Laura, been around a long time, too. Appreciate you. Angela Quinn, thanks for the 10 there. Also from New Zealand, you've given me 3 great days this year. I'm loving your fun employment. Thank you. I love that you and Megan found each other. You seem happier during streams now. Love you and kids. I am. I actually, you know what? Like the day stress and everything else, and dealing with so it's just not there. So I'm having more fun in my life right now. I enjoy. I also know that I'm free to cover and to look into whatever. I can use the hours in the day and use them wisely. Again, I can invest them in family, but I also can set aside time to investigate, to truly not stay up to god-awful hours trying to look up something for documentation and more. I have time to look. And man, when you have time, it's amazing. Adventures in Homebrewing. Thanks for the 5 gifted memberships too. Thank you there. Appreciate that. Appreciate you too. Thank you. Riam, thank you for that membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you very much for that. Glad to have you here. Rhea Rye, thanks for the 5. Jeremy's selling a mac and cheese colored crayon coloring book. There's a word search cartoon with BBB with a dot to dot nose. See, his marketing is amazing. I love his stuff. He makes some fun stuff. I love it. I love it. It keeps me engaged every week just to see what's there. Freaking saving hamsters, everything. BC, how you doing? Thanks for the 5. Cleveland Tug, hope your holidays with your family went well. They did. They went great, actually. Holidays are going great. 2025 is off to it's a banger so far. I mean, I'm having a ball right now. So thank you. Rebel Bird also, thank you for another 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Rebel. Appreciate you, like I said, very much so. Elfie, thanks for the 10 there. Are we allowed to use nicknames of any of the haters and co-conspirators in chat as long as we don't say the channel? Or is it just during live streams? If you can talk about people or whatever, the reason is, okay, the reason we said live streams, like if somebody decides they're going to live stream, right, when we're live streaming, the reason we started talking about that is because they became so desperate to try to pull viewership that they would send over idiots to try to raid our chats, be like, come over, please. So I think it's funny to shut them down with that because it denies them that, they try to take advantage knowing full well, again, we're trying to give people a lot of liberties, but what they're like, oh, these people are live now, they're doing this or that, and I realize, again, I'm not trying to say that you can't be excited if somebody comes up or something, but that's like what they were trying to do. It's just they hope to disrupt in any way. And when you pull it away from them, they just look desperate and inept. And it's fun because they rage about it. So that's one of the reasons to do it too. But nicknames and other people, if you want to talk about people, have a ball, It's just about more discussing, they're doing this like right now, You know what I mean? So that's what that goes with. Silhouette, thanks for the 5. When Larry did start looking into this story, he got a threatening voicemail, #buckleup. Yes, #grudgejudge, #buckleup. All this stuff. They forget how much work Larry did. And indeed, Larry got threats when he got on this. It is interesting. So you're right. With them being like, nobody tried to shut down your spell. Oh, yeah. They threatened him. And they sued him. So when they're talking about you don't have to worry about copyright strike, these fucking morons sued the man for covering something that they're asking him to cover. So it's like, are you kidding me with that? Oh, it's just amazing sometimes, isn't it? Texas Proud. Thank you for the 20 there. Thank you for the free press. Indeed. The fun thing about being a free press, again, it's become all of this with the mainstream sort of dying off with things. They're trying to flood this stuff. You also have AI popping up everywhere. So I think it's even more important when you find someone that's out there that is covering things that are necessary, that they definitely be showcased, they're supported. And that means with anybody. More and more, you have, again, a desperate mainstream dinosaur that doesn't cover any of the stuff that's important. If they do, they cover it from ridiculous angles. That's what BBB was hoping. He could get the mainstream to pull in. That's why his narrative is the certain way. He tried to buzzword everything that he thought they would pick up on. And again, more and more AI is out there. God, I run across so many AI videos. Like, oh. But thank you, Texas Proud. It's important. Thank you. Lily Smith, thanks for the fun there. It sounds to me like he's threatening to bring a lawsuit back against Larry if he doesn't cover this lawsuit. Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Cover this lawsuit or I'll bring back a lawsuit about you covering this lawsuit. It's like, wait, what? What now? What did you say? Okay. I got you there. I got you there. Arkansas, why done? Thanks for the song, Lady. Great. Yeah. I actually, like I said, I love the idea of covering it with as Larry. But yeah, Kenny Rogers there. I heard that today. That's what had it stuck in my head. Yeah. Davey Vet, love for the broken. Thanks for the 10. BBB needs to wake up. He thinks he's dreaming again. That's true. He thinks it's real clients. It's like himself, LB and JC. What's fascinating is claiming all these clients and stuff. You know, he has a lot of time on his hands for that. He's saying Shizzy has a lot of time. Well, shit, he seems like he has just as much time as Shizzy, if not more. Shizzy actually has a job in the day. You know, he's talked about it before. So what the heck? As ethics 5, you should find a mac and cheese suit and cover the file. EDB is covered 1 or 2. You could do one just for the butt hurt. Maybe I can get an avatar that looks like a piece of mac and cheese. I'm going to co-opt it for myself. Christopher, thanks for the 2 there. Appreciate that on the super sticker. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Sorry, Mom. Thanks for the 10. Wait, Megan Fox is doing live yoga. Sign me up for the class. Yeah, she did. She did live yoga, going through this stuff, and they hate that. They bring it up all the time. It's amazing. Apparently, a woman deciding that they're going to do something and express themselves really gets the ire up. Isn't that weird, by the way? I make 1,000,001 freaking weird fucking avatars and shit. So, woman decides that she's going to do something, you know, that's actually good for her health while she's actually coming out like, oh my God, how dare she? Jack Miles, thanks for 2. Just wait until Deuce LLC collapses. We'll see what happens with everything. It's going to be interesting to see how the response to vexatious litigation goes. Rats, thanks for the 5 there. Boo-hoo. BBB wishes he had something. Sop up the tears. Oh, hey, breadsticks for all that gravy. I know, maybe it'll dry those up. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's such a sad letter. Sparky, that's a funny name. Thanks for the 2. Do you have a PayPal or Cash App? I do. It's in the link in the description. I actually added, so people have asked for a Cash App, a PayPal, a Venmo, and a coffee account, and they are all in there. Now, note one of them. Make sure you read what it says on there, though, for that, because the Venmo is Real Umbrella Guy. It has to be that one. Everything else is that. But just like I said, if you go through them, but yeah, people have asked for them. So I was like, okay, you have them any way you want them. Anyway, and I appreciate every single way. Thank you. Wanda, thanks for the 2. Tug, how do we get merch? Oh, that's a good question. You just go to ThatUmbrellaGuy.com. Literally, it's that simple. If you want to look at my stuff, we own ThatUmbrellaGuy.com. That is my website. So you just type it in, has all the shirts and everything on there. You just click on what you like, pick out your colors, pick out your size, and go through. Easy peasy. Or, props to Ray for setting that up too. Without Ray, I'd have been 100% lost. So yes, I appreciate you, Ray, for that too. Like, that's amazing. Wow. So we actually have man, there's more that's happened today too. I guess I'll go through it all today. We also had a dono from. I'm just going to note. It has a name, so I'm not going to throw your name. I'll say DR. Thank you. A $5 dono. Thank you. We had 2. It looks like coffee backers as well. Yes, we had 2 on there. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. Like I say, I appreciate it. And we have, I'm going to say LS. Thank you for a $3 donation as well. Thank you. Because, hey, that's awesome. I appreciate it. I'm trying to be better about doing those too. But ThatUmbrellaGuy.com, that is the way to find everything. Is that Mishi? I'm going to mess your name up. Oh, no. I'm asking. I'm just trying to get it right. But I'll mess your name up. Thanks for the 2 there. Appreciate that. It's a Southern thing, I think. I don't know. I think it's a me thing and a Southern thing combined where I butcher every name I come across almost. They become like I butcher them so bad. I make jokes at them like Rhea Raya. I just say them both ways. It became a habit. It's so funny. And thanks for the 10. I love to you too, by the way. And thanks for the 10 there. Hi, Tug. Happy New Year. Thank you. Thank you. It has been a blessed one. Thank you all. I appreciate that. Run thanks for the $10 super sticker there. Thank you very much. Like I said, I've been watching super stickers today, so I appreciate those. They're awesome. DTG, thanks for the 10. Just because I send breadsticks doesn't make me a stalker. Indeed. Indeed. This is an Olive Garden, sir. Exactly. Thank you. Catherine, thank you for the 5 there. Saw the hamster mustard blasters in Target today. Oh man, I'm gonna have to. I've got to go somewhere tomorrow, so I may or may not live stream, or I'm not sure yet. I will have that video tomorrow, like I said, 12:15. Catch it for sure if you would, please. But live stream, not sure yet. I don't know, but if I'm out in the real world, maybe I can go buy a Target and see what's there. I'm gonna see the poor war crime hamster stuff. I'm like, oh no. Bunts, thanks for the 3 months. Much love to you. Still waiting for bugs. I know I still haven't done that yet. Oh, that's gotta be cute though. Bootsy, thanks for the 279. When you knows that your nose knows. When you knows, your nose knows. Do you knows? Yeah, Max Labs want to check the email, by the way. I saw emails come in. Actually, there's been about 4 or 5 that have come in, and I'm curious about what they all are. And I see that one from Max Lab there. I went up. I definitely find, like I said, I figure there's a plan hatching that's going to be well, it's going to be funny. That's so funny. Jamie, thanks for the 2. Lost a special young friend today. He would have been 21 on his 13th this month. Down syndrome. He'll visit me at work for samples. Man, it sucks there. You know, like I said, love and condolences to their family. To you also. Well, I know it's hard losing friends. Losing a bright spot in your life. So much love to you. I hope you're doing okay. That can be very rough. That's why, again, we hang out. We try to have a little fun to keep the things that happen in real life, you know. We laugh about the stupid to keep other ugly away sometimes, at least for a few hours. But love doing prayers for you and yours. Carol, thanks for the 5 there. Love you and Megan together. Prayers for the lost lives in New Orleans. Oh God, that's an awful situation, man. That's an awful situation. I've seen videos and stuff that people are so horrible. You know, humans. It's amazing, like the horrors that they're capable of, and for real. You know, all those poor people just trying to go out and have a good time. And just some horrible person. But yeah, really, prayers for them for sure. Janice and their families. That's the thing too. Their families as well. Thanks for the 10 there, Janice. Bubbles better buckle up. Larry's going to take him down and it's going to hurt. He's the worst lawyer ever. Indeed. I'm waiting for all the Larry responses. Again, he's right now, he's dealing with something personal. And I think I think BBB knows that too. I think he's trying to, you know, he thinks it's going to go one way, but what it's going to do is it's going to make Larry, it's going to make him, I want to say motivated. I think Larry, if he gets annoyed or irritated, I think he becomes motivated. And a motivated person is what you don't want to step off with. Well, thanks for the 2 there. Glad you get to be fun-ployed. Exactly. Have some breadsticks. Thank you. Appreciate that. And it is. It's been awesome. I love it. Thank you. Jesse, thanks for the 5. Bruce, you dummy. Larry didn't turn YouTuber. He added YouTube to his resume. That's right. That is exactly right. He's still a lawyer and hired an apprentice. That is indeed correct. You're 100% on that. When you pick up the mic, it doesn't discount everything else you did. Like I picked it up. I picked up a microphone just because at first I wanted to talk about how industry was ruining hobbies that I enjoyed. And then one day I ran across a false allegation case that I found utterly fascinating and horrible. And that's where it all turned together, because it all turned together. It dealt with hobbies and everything else. And it's just from there, it's become something that I'm glad I looked at. I am. And thanks to all. Some of you all have been around and motivated that. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the 2. Nobody wants to see the walruses do live. Oh, God. Help me. Help me. That'd be like saying a bowling ball is doing yoga. My Lord, no. So on, thanks for the 2. Hey, big tugging. You and Shizzy need to cover mac and cheese from the other side. That's it. I mean, if we want to have an actual legal, fair, objective analysis, maybe I should look at the mac and cheese story from the other side. Maybe I mean, since he decided to tag everybody into it and stuff, maybe in all this free time here, maybe I should reach out and see exactly what happened in the mac and cheese story. That's a good idea. I didn't think about it. I don't know why I haven't thought about that. But I mean, fair is fair, right? That's what he's telling us. We need to be objective. We need to cover things from the other side. And I've already heard brews. I've already heard brew. So I almost said BBB and Bruce. I said brew. I've already heard his side of things. I'm sure, though, there's another side to that. And we wouldn't want to leave that out. We have to be 100% fair there. So maybe people tied to the mac and cheese thing, they'd like to, come on a live stream and talk about it and make me understand it, why it's such a horrible thing. Maybe. Again, he wanted us to cover that, too. He did invite us to cover it, after all. So it would be fair. Like he did kind of beg us, too. Huh. Maybe we could get one of these learned lawyers that he's talking about to come in and cover, quote unquote, the other side, like he says about things. Maybe I could bring in one of those people. Maybe I could find somebody with 1 million subs to talk about how terrible. Oh, might be fascinating. And also, Rebel, thanks for the 2. Sponsor says check your DMs. I will definitely check everything. I saw some stuff floating in. I saw a few things that I want to see what they're about. Like where they go. But Shizzy's live right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to raid Shizzy. That's what we're going to do. Shizzy has been picking up right after. Again, I run over a little bit. I'm not trying to run into where he's at. I'm not a quick super chat reader. I appreciate folks. I don't read fast on that. I'm Southern. I read slow on there, but every person, when you comment, you matter anyway. And if you ask something, I want to be able to talk about it. Same thing we would do with on Megan's show and everything else, but it does take a little while. So I'm going to redirect you now, and you raid and tell them again. Tug sent you because we want to make sure that Shizzy feels loved. So he's going to be fun too. But I appreciate y'all, and we're going to end here. We'll see you.